Hey, break it
That's
down,
that
Leo.
Florida Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds like Justin Timberlake. on the
Beatbox.
Oh
list.
shit! No,
Beatbox
you
shit,
heard what he
you know?
just said? He literally just started a remix the other day of that.
Oh, really?
That's so funny.
Bam, 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 bam.
I'm actually a drummer though, so I used to like straight up like learn to beatbox like on purpose.
Oh, yeah?
Oh,
I'm not like a good beatboxer, but I have the rhythm of it.
that sounds really good.
I try. I mean, no, have you seen the modern day?
Oh no,
Whatever, we could say it for the podcast, but the modern day fucking
beatboxers.
are literally better producers than us. Like, it's actually crazy.
Really?
No, yeah, you ever seen
Oh.
it? The bang, I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
Oh, you mean like the Korean ones in Asia?
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
monsters. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Korean guys are crazy. There's a couple like German dudes, I think, or something.
Yeah, so a lot of the German dudes do like the fucking like dubstep shit. Yeah, they do that type of shit. I'm like, damn, Bismarck, he got left way behind with his beatboxing.
Hey, what's good? What's good? What's good? Welcome to Reflections of a DJ, the R.O.A.D podcast presented by DJ City and Beat Source. I'm one of your hosts, DJ Crooked. We have Jamie the Great here.
Yeah.
Big shout out to our brother, Never, rest in peace, never forever. We're here in Las Vegas with two special guests. These guests, they're two trendsetters in electric dance music scene, both individually and together. The first trendsetter is one of the pioneers in trap and twerk movement, exploding into the scene with his high energy festival anthem, Bap You. His partner in crime is extremely versatile producer who's done everything from trap, dubstep, future bass, and Latin, and he has a Latin Grammy to prove it with Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny. So together they redefined modern tech house, changed the game with their Grammy-nominated track On My Mind with Diplo. They've got a new banger, which I fucking love, with Bobby Shmurda, Cash Out. They played every major festival in the world, from Coachella to EDC to Tomorrowland. They continue to release heaters on every label imaginable, which I haven't seen, including their own label, Lip Service.
Sheesh.
It's quite an intro.
Yeah.
You need to introduce us tonight at Live.
Whether you're a househead, festival rat, or even open format DJ, you got to show love to these motherfuckers. It's an honor to have Dylan, formerly known as Party Favor, rest in peace to Party Favor,
R.I.P.
and Ricky, aka Nitti, formerly known as Nitty Gritty.
Yes, sir.
There's this whole I don't know, there's this whole multiverse,
Yeah, it's a multiverse shit.
side piece going on. Yeah, we're honored to have Sidepiece in the building. What's good, y'all?
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, what's going on with the names, gentlemen? What's going on?
The side piece became the main piece.
Yeah.
And
How long did you study that for? You had to come
that
up
was
with
off
that.
the dome
Off
right
the
there.
top. That was a
off
good
the
one.
dome
He's
right
definitely
there.
said that in other podcasts.
No,
I was like, that's too good.
that was off the
I
dome.
swear
Come
I've
on.
seen T-shirts like with that shit at their shows. and
No,
stuff.
yeah.
First time.
But for real though, I mean, it just we had so much fun, and this project started as just a fun outlet for us to work on house.
Yeah.
And do it proper and do our own take on it. And then it's really just taken off. And so for me, I wasn't finding as much joy in the other project at the time. And this has been so much fun, and been doing this with first doing a solo project for so long and working by myself.
Yeah.
I was always the group project kid, and I was in school too. So I just love collaborating with people. So I think for me, the working with him and as we've grown and our project's grown, it just was a natural fit for me.
I was wondering if when you were DJing out, if people were expecting you to play all the mid 2010 trap and twerk from Party Favor, and you're like, I got to rebrand, or you wanted to kind of move forward.
I think when we first started, we really tried to focus on when we first started, we didn't even announce that it was us. We just put out the music
With Sidepiece.
Yeah, and people
Yeah.
were kind of like, "Oh wait, what the fuck? Who's Sidepiece?"
Yeah.
And it was. So the idea was to not really necessarily be like, "Hey guys, we're doing a collab." It was like, let the music speak first. So, and then what people we had no problem with people finding out, but it was just that was the first priority.
Yeah.
So.
And then Nitti, why Nitti and Drop the Gritty?
I mean, honestly, that was just a legal thing. I just actually had to do it.
Someone came for you.
Yeah, it was just one of those. But
shit.
Pretty similar though. It's it's in a sense slowed down just because the amount of time it takes to do Sidepiece at this level. We're both it's pretty much our, like you said, our main piece. But in all seriousness, it really does take so much to move any project to a certain level. And us being here in Vegas and playing a residency, I never really had something like that as Nitti. So it's really cool to have a project that actually
Right.
really going the distance to a different level than like we always say, us together is really something bigger than either of us solo. So it's just been really cool to be able to focus on that and just it's almost like it's kind of fun because for me as like Nitti, I almost get to like, I don't want to call it a hobby because obviously I'm blessed. Like it was a whole thing. I toured, I did a lot, released a lot of music, but I actually have gone back to just like kind of enjoying making whatever I want and not really like worrying about TikToks and promos and doing all this stuff, you know, because we're so heavily, you know, doing that every day for Sidepiece. So it's nice. It's almost like it gives me like, you know, a separate like outlet to just produce whatever I want, which is kind of what I always did as Nitti. So yeah.
What was the conversation like in 2019 when y'all first decided to like form Sidepiece? Like, I'm kind of curious, what was like the climate in the industry? Like what was going on, like, you know, in your careers, and maybe what was going on in the music scene where you guys just had this conversation? And I wondered, was it just an organic conversation and then it just kind of snapped?
Yeah, I mean, the conversation was funny because it was like, I think just Twitter DM, like the classic, you know, millennial DJ type of thing where it's like, oh, we met on Twitter. And then I remember I opened up for like a party favor show as Nitti. And then like, I think like maybe like 3 months later, he like DM'd me, he was like, yo, like, let's work on some music. And I was like, yeah, so we can make trap, but also, by the way, like, I've been making house music. And then he's like, no way, like I've literally, that's what I started as. I've been making tech house too.
Yeah.
And we basically sent each other like early renditions of like Temptation, On My Mind, Acrobatic, just a bunch of our earlier records that it literally was a one day organic thing where like, even like the name, like we've said it multiple times, but like, I was like, yeah, it would be so funny as a joke, like to call it Side Project. And he was like, what about Sidepiece? And I was like, yo, that's a crazy name. I was like, wait, Dylan. I was like, my dude, hold up. That's a crazy name. And then it really was the first day though. That's what's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you find too with like music, and a lot of producers will probably say too, it's like, even when you're making music, a lot of times the best songs, the biggest songs, I know like when you mentioned Bappy earlier, that song was made so quickly. And you know, I mean, there's a lot of things I would go back and change now, but at the same time, like when I listen to it and what I think makes a lot of special records, and when I've talked to other people, my peers, our peers in the scene, they always say that too. It's like, so I think even back for the project, there's always been this little spark about it that's just felt like, you know, everything we've done has led to this in some way. And I think that we, you know, we still have our own identities, like he was saying, and that's what's cool about it, is like we get to be in this relationship, but it's kind of like we also get our space too, and not in a bad way, but like, you know, it's like we're like married, but then we're not, but then we, you know, we're not, you know, so.
I mean, y'all been like what, like Sidepiece, you guys have been married for what, like the past 5 years? 6 years?
6 years.
Yeah, what, 2019, April 20, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we started it just before the pandemic. I highly don't recommend that.
No.
Yeah.
Great timing.
You know, it's to celebrate your 6-year anniversary, you know, with Sidepiece.
Did you guys get us a cake?
we wanted to play a little game with y'all, which is like, you know, how well do you know your partner?
So
I want to ask y'all a couple questions. If Sidepiece were a car, who would be the engine and who would be the driver?
That's a really great question. I don't know. If I answer this, I feel like I would be more the engine. I'm just like an ADD. Like I just like am like all the time trying to do too much. I feel like he's probably a better driver.
I'm not going to disagree.
Yeah. I'm very ADD. Like I'm just always running. I'm an engine. I'm literally an engine. So
no, yeah,
Dylan's
this guy's he's amazing. Yeah.
All right, what kind of car is it though? That's yeah. Let's see what kind of car is it.
You can pick. He has good taste in cars too.
A Volkswagen Jetta.
Yeah. Hey, let's go.
Nice 99 ride.
No, we're what kind of car would we be?
A Jetta's not that bad.
I actually like.
I'm just kidding. That was one of my first cars, and I used to get roasted for it when I was young.
Nah, bro.
That was my dream car at 12.
Yeah, the GLI.
Yeah,
they were nice.
Well, whenever I was driving it, it was like considered like the girl car, you know.
Man.
So, but hey, you know what? It got me from point A to point B, and that thing was German engineering. It's good.
So Sidepiece is a Jetta.
It's
Is
a
that what
Jetta,
I'm saying?
Damn it.
Damn it! Yeah, no. Hold on.
Specifically, the one from Fast and the Furious.
Now, wait,
There we go. Yeah. The blue and white one.
Yes.
The GLI. That's what
with
we
those
are.
super cool lights underneath.
Yeah. Neon lights.
No, we're like a Porsche GT3 or something.
Yeah. Perfect.
Ooh, okay. All right. So what's the greatest thing about, you know, Dylan or Ricky when you're working in the studio together?
For Ricky, I think that he's very talented at not only multiple genres, but also thinking in like instrumentation of different things. And he's so quick. So like when you work with someone in the studio, a lot of times like you have people that are sometimes like, for me, sometimes I'll have creative idea and I'll just kind of like be working on a 8-bar loop for like 2 hours, and then Ricky will be like, "Oh, dude, I already finished like half the song," and then it like sometimes it'll flip too. But I think that like having someone that is like always so fast is a great an amazing thing, especially when we're like on the fly in the studio. It's like it always is a good look. He elevates me. So
kind of already said it too, where it's like a lot of times like a good dynamic. Like I said, like maybe if I'm an engineer, I'm like going too fast sometimes, and it's like sometimes the idea doesn't come out good. And that's always when I'm like, yo, like, am I crazy? Is this even good enough to keep going? He's like, yeah, give me like an hour, and then like that's usually when we get our gold. Is like one of us starts an idea and the other finishes it, and like he's always been able to like especially in those like 2019 years. I remember that was like a very learning curve for me because again I was a lot more bass, but he had made a lot more house early in his career and stuff. So it was really a learning curve of like you don't think it's that hard, honestly, to make something so simple until you really like dive into it and you're like, oh, that sounds like a dubstep kick. And you're like, what? Why can't I use a dubstep? And it's like, no, you just can't do that. Or you can eventually, once you break the rules, you have to like learn them first. But there's this whole thing where he was like, go listen to this, go listen to Cashmere, go listen to these older records. And like, it's kind of almost like, it reminds me sometimes of like some of the mentoring that like Diplo did for me, where it's like, like I'm not that much younger, but it's enough that I've like learned there's just extra piece of like, especially house music culture that Dylan really has a great ear for.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Are you guys typically together in the same room when you guys are producing together?
Probably more often than not now. Like we are and then we aren't. I mean, like we make most of our ideas. Sometimes like I'll start an idea just at home or him. We make most of our stuff. Like today, we both made 2 separate things on the plane right here from Orlando.
Oh,
yeah.
Is that the best time to make shit is on the plane?
Bro, it's the best. There's no distract. Like, I mean, especially if you're on shitty ass Southwest Wi-Fi. No distraction.
Southwest isn't your sponsor, right?
No.
Can't even get a text. So you're like, oh,
Southwest
nothing to do.
sucks. Yeah.
Nothing to do.
And they're fucking us over with all these changes.
Yeah,
shit,
they're making you pay for seats now.
I mean, I don't know how much worse they can get, but
no, honestly though, it really is. It's just, even when you're on and you have good Wi-Fi, like I feel like we both have like really finished and created so many ideas off of airplanes. And even
I almost produce better on an airplane now than I do at home.
Yep.
Like I have my studio at home, and I'm like, even when I'm at home, I'll like make better stuff like sitting on the bed or on the couch or at the countertop.
I heard the altitude is really good for like your brain waves.
Critical thinking.
I've never heard that.
Oh, wow,
I've heard it's pretty much
it's
killing you. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, shit.
the radiation?
Yeah.
The radiation.
I'm like, no wonder I'm such an idiot in the airplane.
No, I remember talking to a plane. Wow. Nice.
See, I don't think it works, guys.
I remember talking to a pilot, and he was telling me that like they have to take like certain breaks because they're in like a plane so much and they're in the high altitude that apparently it just like destroys your body.
Oh, yeah.
It does.
Now I can't trust the pilot.
Always got to stay hydrated.
Yeah.
So see you on the next flight. Yeah.
Yo, roadies and roadies for life. You already know that we rock heavy with DJ City. It's our go-to record pool to download the latest music, edits, and remixes for our DJ sets. So now, Road listeners can join DJ City for only $10.
$10?
Only $10. That's almost 70% off the first month. Make sure you scan the QR code or click the link in the description or go to djcity.com/offer/road to jump on this great deal.
So you guys kind of answered a little bit of the next question, which who's more of a perfectionist and who's more ready to bounce the track and export it immediately?
I think it just depends on the song. We've both been like, sometimes I'm a little more excited and sometimes he's like, yo, I finished the idea, and it's just like a quick one. But like we both have easily spent way too much time trying to be like, oh, it's not right, this kick, this whatever, and then vice versa. Like today we both, like you said, we literally were both like shitting out ideas just to do it, not like trying to be perfectionists. So
but sometimes the great thing is we made these ideas, we test them out tonight, no one has any idea, and if they're bad, we just don't say it's ours.
No one will know.
Or if it doesn't go over well. So for us, we get to test it every night.
How would they know?
So that's how open you are with the production. You're just very loose with it. Like if you make it in like, the same day, you're just like, I want to try it out as soon as possible.
But I think we both, I'll say that, yes, but to add to it, both he and I are very like strict when it comes to how something sounds. Like we're not just like like toss it out there. We're double checking the EQ. We're throwing a master chain on it. We're doing all our stuff. But sometimes it's like, I might be like, oh, this sounded kind of cool. And then we'll go play it. And then both he and I are like, that wasn't it, or the bass was off, or it just wasn't, the structure was wrong, but it's a good way. Is the best way to do it is play it live, because then you get the real reaction.
Right.
And then, you know, we never say it's like our new song, because then no one will know.
Are the issues always varied when you're hearing it for the first time in the club, or is it like typically it's always like, man, it's always about the arrangement sometimes?
That's a big part of it. I think there's three things. If you mix it in properly, I've recently just noticed this. Like, I saw like Seth Trox started talking about like, oh, you're not a good DJ till you're 40. And like, I think he's like exaggerating a little bit, but me now turning 30 and having DJed almost like 10 years, I do realize now when you bring the record in correctly, it makes the record better. So sometimes just bring it in at the right time, even if it's not mixed perfectly, you'll get the reaction. And then there's little stuff where like, yeah, we nerd out, and like, I'm really anal with keys sometimes, and most people aren't really, especially in the club, because you can't notice. So I'll be like, you stupid kick in your bass, and it's like nobody really cares. So it's like, I don't think it really matters.
Yeah.
It's more, I think, arrangement, honestly. Because like, we'll be like, the kick, the bass can turn up, turn that down, but it's like, it's kind of nerdy at that point. It's more like the vibe and the feeling in the room.
We've had some times too where there'll be like, we play a song, we're like, oh, that sounded terrible, and the vibe wasn't good, and then we go back and maybe a couple months later we play it and we're like, oh, we like this again, and it's because the system was just shit. Or the booth was shit, you know. So you have to kind of take everything with a grain of salt, but luckily for us, like he's saying, it's the experience. We've got it.
Is there one spot that y'all spin at where the sound is always the best, and you're like, yo, let's test these songs out here and let's hear how this shit sounds?
I mean, the cheat code is always like any Insomniac festival. They have the best sounding booth, and then you're playing in front of the craziest crowd. So it's like, you could fart on a track with a kick drum and everyone would be like, you know, it's like unfair.
And
you know?
even smells too.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Vegas, the clubs in Vegas are
Live
usually
is
really
fire.
good too. Yeah.
I had a question. You guys say that you guys test out the track. What is a clear indicator that is like, oh, this is something good response, or it was like, well, just throw it in the dumpster? And
The team. If someone like videography or TM, Mike, or somebody else is like, yo, what was that song? Blah, blah. As soon as we're done the set, we're like, oh, that was our new one. Like, that's 90% of the time.
We always try to get the security dancing too.
Yeah.
Security, and then I think it's, you know, obviously you can go off of crowd noise and you know, the oohs and ahs. But I think you can kind of, you can just, if you're in clubs enough, you can feel when people,
feel it,
and you guys know, you're DJs, like you can see the movement. You can you know when you're in that pocket, and then when you lose them and you got to get them back.
Yeah.
But sometimes like, it can just be one song that's like, oh, fuck, you know.
And it's the beauty of like the reaction from your crew or your team hearing the song is like, they don't know that you made it. Like, it could just be any song.
Most of the time when that hits, it's the best. Cause like you said, like, the crowd will react, but now we're so used to that. Like, that extra step is a more unbiased people that see us every night. Like our TMs and, you know, Derek, our video guy, see us and he edits every night. So if he's like, yo, what was that Stacy song or whatever? And we're like, oh, that's our new one. He's like, dude, that went crazy. It's like, that's always an indicator. I feel like Cash Out was one of those ones where like, I remember everybody was like, what was that Cash Out edit? Or, you know, a Milli back in the day. What was that a Milli edit? And it was like, we didn't tell them until, you know, the moment.
I want to go back to Cash Out.
Sorry.
No. I definitely want to go back to Cash Out, but I want to go to this next question. What's one weird habit that, you know, Dylan or Ricky has in the studio or in the booth or on the road? Or it's like, it could be a quirk, or it could be something like habitual, like a routine that might be annoying or might be kind of endearing.
This motherfucker. No. He got so fed up with dealing with studios they would go to for like recording that he straight up nerded out and made his own portable vocal rig to bring to studios, which is also like funny because it's kind of like the most disrespectful thing to show up to someone else. So for like proper, no, like multi-million-dollar studios, and this dude's like, yo, let me get the Pelican case. I gotta get in here, and we got it. And he pulls it out, and it's like this little erector set, you know, rigged up thing.
Hey, it's not, it's big.
No. I'm saying it looks, but you're like, it's amazing, but it's just so funny because. And that's why I love you, but it's so funny because that has to be the like exactly what you're asking, because when he busts that out, but then everyone's like, oh yeah, it does sound pretty good. You know?
We just had some bad experiences.
We did,
like, you know, when you go to a nice studio and they don't know how to use their own shit, like they're just.
I'll jump in because this is a compliment to Ricky, because he's kind of like, if he gets like, you know what, I don't want to deal with this shit, I'm gonna figure it out myself. And so that's what he did, you know. So
right.
So but we have to sit there and watch him pull out of his fucking
Transformer.
he drives his Supra over to the studio and pulls out this giant ass Pelican case.
Wait, do you just kind of go like, I'll be back, and then you go and get it?
One
Kind of
time,
shit.
the first time he's talking about, we had a great session, and like I'm not kidding you, it was a U87, and there was like a buzz on the mic, and I'm like, bro, there's just 10 grand of gear, and there's a buzz, and we're trying to record,
Yep.
and I was like, guys, can I drive back to my house and go get a mic? And everyone was like, okay, and then they just like,
hear the Super.
So we're sitting there just still working, writing, whatever, and it's kind of like, the Jeopardy theme song comes on, it's like,
and then they wrote a banger, you know,
and then he
came
comes back and he's like, I'm ready, and then we recorded vocals.
All right, Ricky, what about Dylan? Is there a quirk, something endearing or annoying? Or
Dylan's way less annoying. I'm probably the most annoying person because I'm so like nerdy and annoying it's like extra for no reason most of the time. Dylan's like really easy going, and it's great, and it's fantastic because we'll be like, oh, let's work on this, and he's like, yeah, cool, let's add a bit kick and a bass, and I'm like, we should go download $35,000 worth of plugins, and he's like, no, I don't think you just do the lead. It's really hard.
I thought you were gonna say
it's not even like a weird thing. It's kind of more of a compliment, but like this is the most healthy dude you'll ever see ever on tour. And for me, like I try to be, it's fantastic, but it's like compared to what you would probably think of like an unhealthy, like getting lit all the time DJ, like this guy's always like, oh, you sure you guys want to eat that? And we're like, oh, fine, we won't eat it. And it's like great because like
that's a crazy.
I'm the lame health guy. Yeah.
Kirk is like, yo, we're gonna stop at Whole Foods and get the full food.
He's like, yeah, I make cool electronic gadgets, and Dylan's like the womp health guy, dude.
Dylan keeps us healthy for real.
What, is there any like routine that he has to do in the morning, or like, is there anything he's OCD about?
You know what? He's given compliments, but everyone, in him included, everyone in the team has stepped up. It's been funny. Our whole team has become super like, not like health nuts, but very like focused on like, this is a job. We have a great time. We have so much fun, but we're crazy hours, all this, whatever. Right. And I think to have the longevity in this business, we've like figured it out. And I think for me, for a long time, especially early on in my touring, like when I was around, especially a lot of these like crazy bass people in the bass scene, like they are just like, I'm going upstairs and there's like a whole crew of people doing whippets. It's like it's out of the Dewey Cox movie, and he's like, don't get in here, Dewey. It's like that's basically like the world of music that we see all the time. People don't realize it's like, they get to go out. They have their night out. They're having fun as they should. Their life sucks for a lot of people. It's like, let's go out, let's go to the club, whatever. And we're like, just trying to dodge, ketamine and fucking, whatever else. You're like, I don't know how I got over here, but
what's your newest health obsession right now?
Ketamine. No.
Everyone's on this thing called Ozempic. Let me tell you.
No, with health kick,
like IV at 4 p.m.
No, he got. Yeah, it's not just me. Now he's getting me. He got the assault bike, crazy bikes where it's like the harder you go, the more resistance you get. Yeah, and they have a built-in fan, and you can't do that on the road unless it's like a nice gym. But then he got me on that, and so now I'm into that. And but now he's motivating me because he's got that, he's saying the obsessive compulsive thing, so now he's working out, he's like every day, and I'm like, I gotta fucking do this stuff,
So do you love this new wave of like pop-ups and like coffee shops and shit like that?
Yeah.
The sober life.
Yeah, we got 3 hours of sleep last night. We got to go play on, what are we on at 1 a.m. tonight? So
nice little nap.
I would much rather go on right now. It'd be the day club. Right. We love day clubs. That's our chef's kiss.
Who's more likely to show up to the booth with everything except the USB sticks?
Oh, me. It's me.
Yeah. I have like the same sticks and SD cards that I've had for like 10 years. So I've got I try to keep everything. And then, Ricky will get like a new one every single show.
Yep. Oh my God. All right. So here's a deep DJ question. All right. Who is the better DJ behind the decks, and who's the better hype man on the mic?
Dylan's the hype man on the mic. We have this sick intro these days with our Hey, Mike, it's crazy. He's over there. You can't see him, but Mike will literally wait to play our intro until Dylan does his like. I won't.
Well, what happened is it started as like he would hit the impact of the intro, and then I started kind of getting the crowd riled up, and then while he was we're, getting all the stuff set up for us to change over. And then it started to become where he loved the idea of now of like, he won't start.
He forces
the
him
song.
to do it.
So until I start getting crazier and crazier on the mic. And it's usually just getting people to try to yell crazy, get the crowd to see how far I can get them to go to say crazy stuff, before we go on. So,
So who would you say would be the better DJ on the decks?
I'm not
Stalemate.
I'm not really a crazy DJ. I'm just good at what I'm very organized. I just do my cue points. I'm good at that. My looping.
He just
I don't know about anything else. Yeah, I'm not scratch, nothing else. He probably knows how to do more DJ tricks than me for sure.
More DJ stuff.
more DJ tricks.
Look how on DJ I am. I'm literally calling it DJ tricks. That's how little I know.
Well, Dylan, I was like, you came up kind of in the LA scene, club scene, right?
Yes.
Were you spinning open format? I was going to ask, or were you spinning house and like?
Yeah, I never really did full open format, but I definitely would say it was a little bit more open format ish. Go from house to trap to electro to twerk to whatever, and then a little bit of hip hop and stuff. So for me, I've always loved that kind of challenge of going between genres and whatnot. But early on, I always wanted to DJ electronic music. So yeah, I definitely wouldn't say that I'm like so skilled beyond anything, but I think just over the years you learn,
Yeah.
What's good, everyone? This is Neek from Reflections of a DJ, the R.O.A.D podcast. Whether you're just discovering the R.O.A.D podcast or a day one listener, if you've been loving the content or want more, here's your chance to support the pod. Get closer to the action and unlock exclusive content by joining our Patreon. This is for loyal listeners who want early access to new episodes 3 or 4 weeks ahead, your name in the credits of every video episode, and access to our exclusive R.O.A.D edit packs. Now, for the hardcore supporters, we've got our Tier 2 Roadie for Life subscription for just $10 a month. This is an all-in package. You'll get everything from Tier 1 plus a monthly bonus episode, early access to our R.O.A.D 10 and R.O.A.D Talk interviews, behind-the-scenes content, our In the Crate series, along with exclusive unreleased content. This is your chance to support the podcast and get more of what you love. Join the family today at patreon.com/R.O.A.D podcast. Check the link in our descriptions. We appreciate you. Let's keep this journey going.
Typically, you guys would say you're producers first and then you DJ kind of second, a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah. What's one way you've seen each other grow creatively or personally since you've started Sidepiece?
Great question.
That's a good one.
For Ricky, when we first got together, and I mean, maybe there's a parallel too, but like kind of goes to like the fact that we both were on our own paths and our own things. And I think that when you come up, you're kind of closed off to the world in the sense of like, this is what we got to do. This is how I do my thing. And this is what's gotten me to where I am. And I think that in this business, you have to work so hard. And as Ricky always says too, that you got to put in so many hours, just like anything, and like sports, whatever, like the more time you put in, the better you're going to be. But I think that whenever you come up in this industry, it's cutthroat, right? Like in the music industry, it's hard for everyone, and
right.
Everyone's out to whatever. And I think that when I first met you, when we worked together, it was still very much of like you and me separate. And I think that as we've gone, I think you've learned to like rely on me and my opinion and things. Same with me as well. But I think I watched you open up and more, I guess not trust is the right word, but like, like more that like, yo, I'm here, I'm your partner, I'm your brother. Like I'm trying to get us to the mountaintop as well. Not just, try to ride this for whatever. So I think that's for me, I watched it, go from more of a like, okay, we're a duo, but it's really just 2 projects and we come together, whatever. And now it's like, I feel like we're simpatico,
It's the best answer. It's honestly identical, where it's like, even outside of just production, like we've had the actual talks like over dinner where it's like on a deeper level than just music. And we're like, you realize when you get into like something together, the music starts to like flood away and the shows start to flood away. You're just like stuck with 2 people and you're like, oh, and honestly, it's not really just 2 people. It's like 2 teams. Like we both have, fairly large teams and stuff. And like getting all of our personalities together and our teams and everybody, everybody in a sense has an ego. So like letting all of those things like simmer down into a project, we talk about this all the time. Like the last 6 to 8 months for us has been like the most, where I'm like, yo, all of us on the whole team have been like this like growth of like, yo, all for the greater good, all for the, Sidepiece isn't really just at the end of the day, me and him. Like there's literally lawyers, we both have attorneys, we both have management, we both have PR and, you know, when I say both, I mean like we just collectively have these teams and stuff. So it's like, it's even just watching him develop, it's like even cooler is seeing his side, like his manager, Ryan originally, and my manager, Paul and Cheryl and stuff. And everybody else on the team, like really getting along. To me, that's been the biggest thing where I'm like, wow, like we're actually here at this level now, cohesively doing it. And you guys can go ahead and back and look at how many duos after 5 years, maybe 8, or their big paycheck day, they don't exist anymore. And it's like, we felt those moments, and I feel like we've just only realized, like at the end of the day, like between me and him, it always starts on like a dinner and we're like, hey, like this happened, I'm sorry for this part, how can we take accountability, how can we like actually do stuff? To me, I've been like, wow, that was only thing I could ask for. And in a partner that's like, when I say healthy too, the reason why it's such a compliment is because like now I'm sober for almost a year, and like just little things like that, and being able to have a partner that's like, he actually is like encouraging. He's like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna drink it, but like I literally I didn't ever ask this guy to do anything. I wasn't like, you don't drink. I was like, you could have drank every night, and I would have been like, you know, this is kind of between my faith with, you know, my new faith and everything with Jesus, and there's like whole extra background that I'm like, oh, I don't want to like force it on you. And naturally Dylan was like, nah, I don't need to drink at a show. This guy hasn't drank at a show for also almost a year. Wow. You know, so it's like those little things go a long way to me, where it's like, wow, like you have a partner that's like building you up. Cause it's like, yeah, we could talk about music all day and stuff, but it's like, and I don't mean this in an arrogant way, but like that isn't the problem. And most of the duos that I see in the past, the music's never the problem. Like those are all talented people making stuff. It's always the stupid stuff. And like we said, it's kind of like a marriage, you know, having fun with the person, or, you know, when you're in a marriage, it's not like the dates and the sex that's always taking you out. You know what I mean? It's not the fun stuff. It's not the shows where we're like having a bad time. It's all the little stuff behind the scenes. So kind of building that up recently, it's been like the best, like kind of like 6 to 8 months, I feel like, of us both being like, wow, like we're here for each other, and like as a whole team.
What do you think changed in the last year or so? Did you prioritize like communication a little bit more, or what was it, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just the best part about real change is it's individual first. And like I said, like for me personally, it was like as soon as I started to like get sober, and then me and my fiance were like, we're getting married soon. So there's all these changes that we made personally, and I noticed how much it affected me and her's relationship. And then I noticed me and Dylan, because pretty much the second closest person in my life besides other management and stuff. So it's like, I'm sure it goes he would probably say the same thing, where like when you individually are like creating an identity for yourself, you naturally make yourself better for the other person. And then you're not as much trying to ask like, change for me. You're like, oh, I'm changing first. I'm ready for you to change when you're ready. And it's like kind of therapeutic to like say, or like, I don't want to get all therapy, but like it really is like an identity thing.
It's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Was there ever a moment where you did something that impacted the other person so greatly that you made sure to never do it again?
Wow, that's a crazy one. I don't know if it's anything that excessive.
Yeah. Luckily,
I don't think we've ever been like, if you do that one more time and quit. I don't think we've ever been that crazy.
You got too deep, buddy.
You guys have always kind of like,
knock on wood.
Yeah.
You guys have always been able to like kind of like make it through, right? No matter what.
Yeah. I mean, all that I said too, I don't want to act like it was like, oh, some big breakouts and we were like, you know, fighting. It's just like, I just mean the natural tendencies of relationships. So I don't want to make it like over dramatize it, like we were like at each other's throats or anything. It definitely never got to any of that.
No, but we've been very fortunate that over as a whole, like we've been pretty much on the same page. It's just like you said, you know, I mean, when you're, like you said, the duo thing too, it's like there's been massive artists that are on top of the world, and when they get together, it's just, so we've been very fortunate that we're still here, we're still kicking, you know?
Yeah. It's crazy because I would never think behind the scenes that there's two teams, and like coordinating the two teams and communication, that's definitely got to be one of the hardest shits to deal with.
I mean, to get to any level, you have to realize like any artist that is at, when you look at them and you consider them big or whatever, whatever that is to you, you know, it's different, but it's an army behind. I mean, it's not just us. Like he said, you know, we can get up there, do our song and dance. We can, you know, do our stuff forward facing, but there's a whole team, management, there's publishers, there's lawyers, there's, you know, agents, there's, I don't know. Handlers. Yeah, Ricky's got like, his handler.
Babysitter.
I've got one guy that just picked me up bananas,
So this is the last question. What's one thing, Dylan or Ricky has done that showed you your friendship means more than any money, career move, or opportunity?
Oh man, I was thinking about this the other day. I forget what it was. I think it was like a show or something where like, I don't even remember what show because I don't want to say like a name or anything, but it was like someone that I was like, I don't know if I want to like do that. And Dylan was like, we're not doing it. And I was like, man, my God got my back, bro. It was like an immediate, like, I was like, I don't really want to. He was like, say no more. We're not doing it. And I was like, thanks, bro.
Ride or die, right? No matter what. Shit. What about Ricky, Dylan?
I would say, you said what, one moment?
What's one thing that, Ricky's done that showed you your friendship means more than the money, career, and opportunity?
I think it's hard to pinpoint one thing, but I do think that someone's character is always really important, especially in this scene. And I think that Ricky is a very caring person and is someone who does things and doesn't look for a validation or for me to say, thanks, dude, or good job. Like, whether it's just going out of the way to make sure someone on my crew is taken care of, or if, helping this or paying for this or doing whatever. It seems little, but to me, it's like the character of someone who is just a very selfless person. And I think that's like, to me, is like a great thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
You were in the interview before, Dylan, and you spoke, and they asked you kind of like, what's an important trait or what's important what's an important trait that you look in a person or a peer or someone in the industry, and you said integrity. I mean, especially in the EDM world, like there's so many like superstars and legends, like there's so many egos. Like the ego is crazy that you guys have to deal with, right?
Yeah, I mean, ego is kind of like par for the course. I mean, sometimes I get a little bit more. Ricky's a lot more understanding. Sometimes I get a little annoyed with some things, but he's a lot more the guy that's like, yo, dude, I'm either like here or here, and he's like, no, come on.
To be honest, though, it's pretty interesting that I feel like maybe recently I just haven't been meeting or I feel like both of us, like when we're out, we're like, man, most of the guys out right now that are doing well are not really big egos, and 90% of them are like similarly, like maybe they party or whatever, or they have this persona, but like when you go like hang out with them, you're like, man, he's a cool dude. Or like, just people like John or Dom Dalla, where like we've actually hung out with them a few times, like at their shows or dinners and stuff, and we're just like, we come back and we're like, man, that guy deserves it, because he's like actually a cool person to everybody. So
yeah.
Whereas opposed to maybe like, especially I would say maybe 10 years ago, it was the complete opposite with all these like kind of big mega DJs that you would have encountered, right? At that time.
I mean, I think that sometimes it's just the nature of the industry is when everyone is telling you that your shit doesn't stink. I think that it affects everybody, you know? And I think that there's certain people though that kind of come in, and I think you see the longevity like that we're talking about and the integrity, coming back to that, is the people, like you see someone like, Tiesto, who we know and we've worked with and whatever, and that guy has been at the top of the mountain for as long as you can go, but he still treats you with respect, and he talks to you, and he's genuine about, obviously not to everyone that walks up and says hello, but in terms of if you show him respect, he's gonna show you respect. But he's been fluffed up his entire life, or at least the last 25 years. And I think that I think we also, you and I, like subconsciously gravitate towards those type of people. I think there's definitely, we could probably make career choices and do different things if we were like didn't care about that stuff.
Yeah, I had an interview with Walshy Fire, from Major Lazer yesterday, and we were talking about Diplo, and then I'm meeting with you guys. And it's like 6 degrees of separation from Diplo. It's like Diplo has like a hand in so many DJs and so many genres of music. And it's like this Diplo connection. And I'm wondering what Diplo, what role he played in each of your careers.
I mean, for me specifically, I've been technically signed on publishing with him since like right before we made Sidepiece, like 2018. I remember like going to his house and I was like all nervous, and I was like gonna sign. And just to make it clear, a publishing deal just basically means like you get to like work on whatever he's working on. So like the Bad Bunny record that I did, that's with Diplo.
That's one of my favorite records.
I appreciate it.
200 miles per hour.
I mean, to be honest with you, like when Diplo said that to him, he's like, I don't know why he took your shittiest beat. And I was like, thanks, bro. He's like, yeah, we're gonna change it a lot. And then they like did all their stuff, whatever. And then it just ended up being like one of these things where like Bad Bunny's so big, he just released it. I remember it was like Christmas or something, but that's kind of been my experience with him, is like he's just such a library. I say this every interview someone asks me about him. He's just a fucking library. Like the guy, first of all, genuinely cares and listens to any type of music. So like he knows me and I like metal, and he's like, oh yeah, well, we're gonna do some this and that. And I'm like, yeah, let me make metal. He's like, yeah, okay, fine, you can come make some. I mean, like, he doesn't really care, like, or you know, me and him nerd out about funk and stuff, and like now he has this like funk project and stuff. So some of the records that we're working on with that, and just random pop things. So I've just always been like, aside from being able to like work on house music, which is like very passionate for me, being able to do everything like kind of under his wing has been pretty much the other side of my career, honestly.
Yeah. For me, it was like early in my career, there was kind of like dance music was in like factions. It's not now where there's a lot more of like kind of accessible and it's more broken up. It was like you're either in the big room spinning camp, or you're in Ausla, or you're Bad Decent guys, or you're, you know, whether maybe you know, the fucking sorting hat from Hogwarts over here. You know, but I think that for me, I was always a fan of him first. Before I met him, I was playing his records out. I was playing, you know, the early Major Lazer records, the Switch days when, you know, when it first started.
Right.
And, you know, even some of his early EPs. And like, I think that there's in dance music, especially in dance music that has crossed over from just true house roots. I mean, Wes has had his hands in so much stuff. And like Ricky said, he's an encyclopedia. He's incredible. He's also very like, he loves to bring up new talent, which is a very, you know, at his position, that's an amazing thing. So for me early on, like Mad Decent was like, when I looked at the labels of the artists that I was like, yo, I want to be like these guys, right? These are my favorite artists, that are my favorite peers. They were all on Mad Decent, or they were, you know, maybe Ausla or something. But I remember just feeling like I fit in with that crew. I was like, these guys are a little like the island of misfit toys, but they're also like really cool. And then, you know, you got Diplo, who's like the top dog, but he was bringing everybody up through the Mad Decent block parties, through whatever. And I think for me, you know, it was just an amazing group of people to be a part of, and crew to be associated with, because, you know, I wouldn't be where I'm at if I didn't have that, you know, association for sure at some point.
And for Diplo to have his ear to like SoundCloud and listen to like all these bootlegs and edits and remixes that y'all make, and to just like be like, yo, this is catching fire, let's release it and let's put it out. That was like life changing, right? Yeah.
I mean, I think that we've seen too, it's like you got to be quick, but you've also got to be like ahead of the game, and that's the hardest thing. And he always seems to be one step ahead for sure.
What I've never seen like another group that released so many songs with so many different labels, and I was wondering, was there a science to that? Like, so,
oh, us as Sidepiece?
Yeah.
Oh man,
is it been that many?
It's like Insomniac, Higher Ground, Atlantic. You know, you had remixes on Defective, Toll Room. It's just like there's like
everybody wants some of the piece.
Yeah. Well, I was wondering if different labels like pushed the music a certain way, like, you know, Atlantic would be like kind of more of a commercial a thing, and then,
there's definitely like each label has its own identity, and sometimes we've matched up records with like that sound, like especially early on, like obviously when we did some of the Higher Ground stuff and then FFRR and stuff like that, and each song really like we're like, oh hey, we think this is a home for you guys, like we would like to put the song there. And then the other times we've had requests be like, hey, would you like to release a song with us? And like I think honestly it makes it easier because we both make so much music. You're kind of at an advantage as a duo when you're both competent producers to like, that's what I was saying at the beginning. We literally had like, we were 5 songs ahead just by creating the group. So it's kind of always, now we've kind of, I would say, slowed down a little bit because we've kind of, you know, we want to always have the top quality, but it's just been fun. Like we just both are like, I love the song. Do you love the song? Cool. Send it to the label. So sometimes it's fun to just not worry too much about like big single, big that. Like just make music for the clubs, and like that's what house music is all about.
Each label in dance music, though, or house or whatever, kind of has a very distinct niche too. Which, you know, I didn't even know the true depths of that when we were first digging into this. And I think that, you know, the difference of the people who listen to Tool Room music and the artists that release on there, you know, it's like their own little mini Mad Decent or whatever, right? And it's curated by Mark Knight. And you know, you have all these people, you know, Defected is its own thing, and they pick certain style of records. And I think that when we first started coming out, we were like, okay, well, we want to, you know, try to, both he and I are very much like, oh, we hear that, let's try to do our own version of that. You know, sometimes we have to kind of bring ourselves back and be like, well, let's do our own thing, because we don't want to copy anybody, you know. But I mean, I guess everything is technically a copy of everything. You know,
somebody just said that on a podcast, and I was like, man, you're real for saying, I
mean, yeah, it's all, you know, we all own everything to Beethoven.
Yeah, it was Fortet. Fortet was like, he's like, yeah, I want to, like, in his little accent, he was like, yeah, I want to just actually get to a point where I don't listen to something and try and beat it. I just want to enjoy it. And I was like, damn, as a producer, I feel that, because I'm very competitive. I mean, we're both in that thing. We're pretty much the same. Like, we hear something and A, it's inspiration, and B, we're blessed to be able to go play a show every night. So if we get inspired, we would love to make a track and then play it. But there is something interesting, I think, as like maturing as a producer and DJ, to like, there is a beauty in like not just doing it because you think you can do it better. Like, let the art breathe. And then if something naturally comes to you. So it's like, it's a hard balance to find, I'll say, as like a
for sure
producer, you know, like, we're actually in here making our own records, and that is something we're always like kind of battling. Yeah, we want to like take inspiration, but not, you know, go too far, and, you know,
yeah, not everything needs to be changed. Yeah, even though we might want it to.
Yep.
It's funny you say that, because it's like in the hip hop world, right? Hot Boy and Ooh from Young M.A. are like basically like, they're like first cousins.
Yep.
Yeah.
So so when Stephanie came out and y'all teamed up with Bobby Shmurda and y'all did Hot Boy and y'all made Cash Out, was there something, was a little bit of that, like, yo, like, you know, there's room for us to like kind of take this Hot Boy and kind of and run with it and do our shit with it. Yeah.
And honestly, like, so when we did a Milli, it's kind of this thing where I think it goes back to even before, like, as Party Favor or as Nitti. Like, I remember working with Cardi, and then I made a Cardi remix as Nitti, and then similar, like, he's had insane features from rap artists. So there's also this point where it's like, it's part of Sidepiece because it was part of us before. So even with like getting, because we make a lot of, people don't see how many we do because they don't go to every show, but like Cash Out and Milli are the only ones to come out officially. But he made a rap edit today on the plane. I made one 3 weeks ago. Like, we literally make rap edits so much that the cool thing about the Bobby Shmurda one is that it was just an edit for fun. And then one of our managers like cleared it through him. And that's what really actually sent it, where we're like,
wow.
Oh, okay. So honestly, most artists are like this too, where like, you have so many records, people only see what you put out.
Yep.
And so it's gonna be easier to make an assumption of like, oh, just did it for this or that. But like, to be honest, we're playing like rap edits since the beginning of Sidepiece and making so many, but they all don't come out, unfortunately, because you can't legally copyright them all and you can't clear them. So
it was funny because I was listening to your coffee shop, and the one you guys did in Venice Beach.
Yeah.
The first 10 minutes is nothing but like nostalgic rap edits.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, these guys really dabble in like the nostalgia of hip hop.
Yeah.
I think Ricky had a good point on back to the Bobby Shmurda one specifically, is like, it almost has a new generation that's fallen in love with the record.
Yeah.
And hopefully because of this as well, but like someone that first heard that song might have like not aged out, but maybe they're, you know, it came and went in the zeitgeist. He went to jail, you know, for 3/4 of a decade.
Yeah, there's a cult following.
And now he's come back, and we were able to bring this song back. And there's people out there that are like, oh, I remember that song, you know, or whatever. And it's kind of it taps that little itch that people know. And I think that there's something about what's so much fun for me, and I can't speak for you, but like in house music, is that it started in sampling, and it's always been rooted in sampling, right? You know, like regardless of how much you add or whatever, some of the best records and the biggest records in the world are resampled or replayed or done something, you know, whatever, you know.
The repetition, the looping, it's such a beautiful part of house music.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think that there's something about like, you know, both he and I have always loved hip hop, but I think that there's something that's so fun to be able to take these vocals and flip them in a new way and gives people to dance to. One of our biggest things, we always are like, is this going to make someone dance? Yeah. That's our end. Like, we're not trying to be, so deep or crazy, right? Like, we're not trying to be Seth Troxler or whatever, but we always want to have stuff that's like making people dance. And so I think that hip hop vocals inherently are gonna work really well with us.
I mean, Cash Out, like that, it seemed like it moved fast. Like that happened fast. You guys debuted it at EDC this year, right?
Yeah.
Well, no, with Bobby Shmurda, right?
Debuted it, but I mean, we started playing it, I think, back in December of last year. Yeah, or I think that's when you the first pass on it. Yeah,
it's also like, I think timing too. Like, I can think back to a big shift is like when On My Mind came out. We were on the other side of it, where we were like, in a sense, kind of like pioneering and starting a R&B or whatever the people call that.
You guys ignited like a new wave of like tech house, right? Kind of. I would definitely say that.
Yeah.
And then a craze kind of followed, and then even like some of the tracks like Ferrari with James Hype, there's this it was like this mixture of like this really kind of booty shaking, bouncing like tech house beats, but this like kind of slightly minimal but like very clean, like nostalgic R&B hip hop from like the 90s. And
I think it appeals a little bit to people that aren't necessarily maybe house heads, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like he was saying too earlier in the combo about how there's so much nuance in house music and just dance music in general, right? There's multiple subgenres within drum and bass, or there's jump off, there's this, there's whatever, but it's like I personally feel like that's sometimes a way to bring people in, and then maybe they hear that and then they okay, well, now I'm gonna listen to this and listen to this, and then next thing you know, they're like really starting to learn and understand the subtle changes in between everything. But
it's an important record. Like On My Mind is a really important record when it came out, 2019. It was like catchy for casual fans, and it was like kind of one of the maybe the newer, like more recent at the time, like EDM dance tracks that like open format DJ started playing.
I mean, I think that's what, if you have a hit, I think it's something that is, it feels cool to play with people that don't like house music or don't consider themselves or call all house music techno, right? Or electronic music,
it was just so relevant at the time because you can put it in between like a hip hop set. You can like kind of put it in an R&B set. It just fit kind of anywhere.
I mean, that's the biggest compliment because like we even 100%. Noticed that with why we feel we're like so excited about Cash Out is because it's the first one in a while, maybe a Milli, and before that On My Mind were the last ones that open format or like DJ City or whatever those websites where we were seeing it actually, or Beatport, it was charting higher. And we're like, oh, this is sick. We finally, you can't get them all the time. You have to really like be making a lot of records. It's like nobody's perfect. Nobody has a perfect track record. They just have consistent track records. So it's been cool to see that one like actually get back into like more generalized like DJ sets and open format and stuff.
Yeah, we're like in a real like nostalgia like era right now, right? It's like, and I kind of wanted to ask you because there's been like kind of like an ongoing conversation in like the dance community, maybe like, and maybe you guys kind of started this, like, but there's been like kind of more of a growing dominance of remixes, reworks, sample vocals, and less like original like vocal dance records. And like, and then some people were like kind of complaining a little bit, like, why does every new hit sound like a flip of an old record? Where are the original songs?
Well, if you really want to get deep with it, think about all the big original hip hop hits were all flips of Motown records, or they were all flips of 70s disco records.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it kind of comes in waves where everyone's like, we were talking about earlier, like everyone's copying, but I think that to me, it's more of just like, I think it's also a product of just how people absorb music nowadays too. I mean, there's kids now that are, what is it? What's the young Gen X or whatever?
Alpha or beta or something.
Alpha.
I'm gonna be called some slur for that for sure. But like, I feel like, for them, a lot of these records they never heard, so they're hearing it again. Everything like fashion's always 20 years behind, or like, or kids wearing Jinko pants again.
Right.
It's crazy. So I think that like those songs from that era, people are hearing now in like a new way, and I think that I agree that it would be but it's like, we try and we work on original stuff, but sometimes it feels like there's not, like, people don't have a lot of original stuff to say anymore. And so for us, it's always like fun to be like, yo, how can we, this is already so good, like, how can we make it better?
But is there a frustration, like, when you want to kind of create an original song and you release it out there and you kind of push it out, it's not resonating with the audience as much?
I mean,
are you
the real deepest of the deep society kind of thing is that we're literally becoming just naturally more programmed to 6-second moments, and the moment is more important than the message or the song most of the time. So if your moment is like cash out all up and it's screaming and having fun, most of these kids, I think, recently will see that on a TikTok and come to a show and they want to relive that moment. And so there's a difference between reliving moments and a fan that's here and gone tomorrow versus, like, last night in Orlando, we played a show where we both felt it. We're like, man, those were real fans at our show. Like, it was, I don't know, under 2,000 cap, not the biggest thing in the world, but the energy felt like not these kids that were, I'm sure there was kids in there on TikTok, but there was this really cool thing where, like, all of our songs really went off. And Ménage à Trois, which is less
dope track.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, it's at this point, I feel like Cash Out is just one of our bigger tracks, but it's nice to see people, singing along to other songs and stuff like that. So,
and they didn't have their phones up the whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
1,900 kids, actually enjoying the music.
Yeah. It's funny
back in my day.
It's funny how y'all hop around so much, because one of my favorite tracks that y'all made was Taka, right?
Yeah,
and that's like almost like a Latin house track.
Yeah,
shout out San Pacho.
Yeah, San Pacho is so fire. Yeah. I think we also have this, like, I'm actually happy about this. I noticed both of us like to kind of dabble with lots of, like, collaborators and stuff. The only thing that we did realize recently, we're like, oh man, we kind of have committed a little more to a specific sound. And even, take Cash Out and stuff and Ménage and some of the more recent Lick, we've felt like recently we've at least got, like, certain drum grooves and certain bass lines to match. Like, we do it in our own set, and if you're a DJ, you could play our last 5 songs and they would really make more of a cut through line versus 2 years ago, some of our records would have been like, oh, this one's Latin, this one's melodic, this one's this. And we kind of, we had this nice, like, wave where we were like, oh, nice. And like, we've kind of settled, and that's just natural. Like, I don't think we're, like, sad or mad about it. I'm just proud that we, like, finally are feeling like our sound is, like, officially, like, developing. And, 5 years is not a long time. So even to get to a point where, it gets to this, it feels pretty good. But 100%, we've had that same talk where we're like, man, should we do the tropical vibe or the this vibe or the Latin, or because we love it.
Right.
And most music lovers love fucking every type of house, because 90% of good house music is good, but there's so many different kinds. So it's like,
so you guys don't have, like, an Afro house kind music remix coming out?
That's my one no.
So that's a good point. I mean, we have to sometimes, like, almost, like, tell ourselves, like, calmate a little bit, just, like, let's get back to what what we want to do, and not be like, it also helps for fans too, right? Like, if you listen to Sidepiece, what you're gonna get, you're gonna get this and this. But, like, if we're, making kind music, and then we're making this, and then we're making Afrobeat, and then we're making techno and whatever, the people are like, what the hell's going on here? Like, what's, even though that's sometimes how we get excited,
fun, but
So, yeah.
It's funny, like, you've seen certain trends happen. So, like, the trap twerk trend come in and, like, literally get oversaturated
quickly,
and then you created another trend with, like, On My Mind.
And went from booty music to booty music. there's a
smoother
through
booty
line.
music.
Yeah, through line.
We're finally have a line.
And do you kind of, like, do you get, like, a feeling where, like, this is getting played out, like, or some of this, like, people are kind of oversaturating the market? Because as soon as, like, a hit like On My Mind comes out, like, 500 producers are going to make another one of it.
Yeah. Well, we were just talking about that. I mean,
it's kind of happening with, like, the rap tech house right now. It's oversaturated.
There's also, like, the kind of electro sound and drums have kind of infiltrated in it, and I love it, because I came from electro house era too, back in the day.
Right.
But Ricky and I were talking about this the other day, and he was even saying, like, like, it sounds great, but we gotta, like, how do we elevate that? How do we challenge ourselves? How do we keep evolving to take this sound, but, like, how can we add more to it? Because this, like a year from now, is who knows, you know, it's going to be something new. You know, there's someone that comes in, they're the new hot thing, they're the new hot sound. You know, if I would say that, you know, props to, you know, there's a lot of people, all the guys from Brazil started this kind of trend. And then, you know, Max Styler here, you know, came up and really had that sound. But I think that it, you know, it's suited us in our production. But I think that the through line is making sure that it's like when you hear one of our records, like my goal is always, I hope that you know and can be like, oh, that's a side piece record. You know,
when like a market gets oversaturated, like are you immediately thinking like we have to pivot to like a new sound?
I think there's like an actual.
It's kind of unfortunate, right? A little bit.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. My real thought on it is like, I feel it's a bit insecure for people. Like, it means you probably got on it too late, and by then, yeah, for sure. But if you're someone like, again, there's a hit of a style, and there's room for like 5 to 10 more.
Right.
If you're making the 11th, okay, yes, you can complain. But like, there is room, and like, I feel like sometimes kids, like, I guess because what you're saying to me is almost speaking to other producers and DJs getting frustrated, and it kind of reminds me of like the whole like, you know, I'm 30 now, so I'm unk too, but like just like unk that's like, man, back I could have been a DJ, and it's like, no, it's all the same, bro. The work ethic, it's all the same. Not like I've never, for sure, the terms change. But everything, when it comes down to work ethic and the hours put in, and then actually caring to put creative time and effort to not be part of the problem, you would have been successful in any era. Like I think you could put certain stars in any era and their work ethic. Obviously, there's outliers that they were perfectly, you know, sparse. But if you're talking about like house music and dance record, like to me, it's like if you're gonna get stuck in like complaining mode, I'm like, don't even be in the business. It's like already too, I'm like, why? How are you creatively inspired then if all you're doing is complaining? You know what I mean?
I also think like, it's a good point is that you guys are both DJs. So you're in it, you're hearing, you're downloading the records. So for you, your process is always the new thing. But if you think about it and step back, the fans that are coming to our shows, they might have seen us 6 months ago and they might see us again in 6 months. And for them, getting to hear that record is fresh again. But to you guys, when we're in this little bubble as DJs, producers, musicians, whatever, like we're always on that. So sometimes I feel like it creeps in for me too. I'll be like, oh, no, this, you know, whatever. This sounds like us, or this sounds like whatever. And I think that sometimes it's like, wait a second, that's a good thing. But then you obviously want to keep challenging to do whatever. But I think that we're also just constantly seeing it, you know, in a macro level.
Creatively, when you guys are working together, it's like right now, is there any walls? Is there anything blocking you creatively, or like is there anything frustrating you with kind of where the dance music scene is right now?
Again, I have a really strong stance. Like it's like a very clear, like if it's a you problem. If that's how it is, you're the problem, in my opinion. Because every time I talk to people like that, I'm like, you're not making enough music. You're not collaborating enough. You're probably playing video games and on the video game complaining about the product. I'm like, you're not even producing. Like, you're not even doing anything and you're complaining. Like, that's what I hear when I don't see. I'll just say this because I'm a guy that does sessions all the time. Yeah. And every time I'm in sessions with the best people, none of them are talking about that stuff. Yep. Maybe 10 minutes. You get a little 10-minute break period to be like, oh yeah, did you see this one copy? Yeah, we could probably beat it. Let's make something else. Let's do just like, oh, let's change it. Let's be creative about, like, if the wall is stopping you, you're not creative enough, in my opinion. So it's like, for sure it gets frustrating. I'm not saying to keep copying, but most of the people that get stuck on that wall, I'm like, I don't know if you've ever really pushed through yet, because, you know, it's almost like a Goggins mindset where it's like, these dudes are running ultra marathons and you don't think you can run 2 miles. Like, you can, you just have to work your way up to it. I'm not saying go run 26, but don't go make 50 tracks. I'm just saying, don't stop at 3 tracks and then complain. And I see that a lot with people that are like, there's all this and that. I'm like, you're only making one thing. Why don't you go, you know, try making other stuff? And it's like, it just gets frustrating for me. I'm not gonna lie, but
is that work?
You really riled him up.
I see it all the time on the internet, and I try to be quiet.
Everything you said, amen.
I mean, is that work ethic that you have? Like, did you guys have that early on, or did it something you had to kind of like really work on?
I think in our own ways. I mean, I think that how we approach it maybe is a little different, but at least for me, I mean, I think going back even to the character thing, when I first met him, like one of the things that I was excited about was that, as he knows too, like we work with a lot of people, and some people we work with don't do a lot. Some people do, but I think that like knowing that there was someone who I could be like, okay, well, if I have an idea or whatever, I can lean on this person, or they can lean on me, and know that, you know, I can trust them to whatever is huge.
You started producing. You were like working at NBC. You were like editing sizzle reels or something.
Yeah. And
then you kind of like, you were like, well, like in order for me to like really kind of stand out as a DJ, I got to start producing.
Yeah. I mean, I was under the very misguided idea that somehow I was going to make it by DJing at the Hollywood nightclubs, you know, with no production. But I mean, I didn't. I really wish that I had have, you know, taken those piano lessons and done all that stuff. Ricky, as a natural musician, is much more talented than me. I feel like I've always been someone who's, I think I have a good ear, and I think I have a good ear for a lot of things. But for me, my learning process into music was not traditional in the sense of like, I kind of started late. And I think that for me, what I really started late because I even took a leap and started trying to make this career before I'd even really started making music. And then I kind of didn't even put it two and two together, because my world was like, oh, you're playing at Supper Club in Hollywood, or you're playing at, you know, Greystone Manor at the time was the big thing.
Right.
You know, you're good. It's like, there's more to life than that. And when I was, you know, every night I'd be looking up and like YouTubing the videos from the kids from, you know, people playing in Europe, and I'd be going and downloading all the music from the blogs, and I'd be playing to the ether because they'd want me to play cookie cutter Hollywood shit.
Yes.
But I think, you know, I guess getting back to that was just that I definitely think that, I don't really know where I'm going with this, but I guess if you're like me, don't be like me and start learning music right now. And there's umpteenth ways to learn music now. I mean, you know,
well, some people have
more basic stuff, but
yeah, some people are blessed to like grow up with parents that were like, you know, musicians, and they were like, and they was just like organically surrounded by music when they were growing up.
Yeah,
you know.
But I will say that, I mean, I don't think that every single person, you know, that is the most talented musician or artist or whatever is necessarily like because they're the greatest guitar player of all time or whatever. Right. Or like, I've met so many people in sessions or engineers or people who can create the craziest sounds, but they can't put a song together. You know, and I think that it takes a certain type of brain, and each person has a different skill set, you know, and Ricky's skill sets are different than my skill sets, but then we also have similar skill sets.
Right.
But I think that that's what's great is we're able to like balance each other, I think.
Ricky, your childhood is like really fascinating because you like grew up in Haiti, right?
Yeah. My parents were missionaries in Haiti, so I lived there for like 9 years. I
mean, what were you soaking up in Haiti? Like music? Do you remember anything?
The music there is really cool, man.
Yeah.
It's the general like Haitian music called compa, and then there's like zouk, which is like carnival music. And actually, one of my friends, Michael Blanc, is crushing it right now, and he's like he started back in the day as like progressive house, and when I was like starting to make music, I was like, he's this kid from Haiti, and I was in a class with his younger brother, and I would like I would send him the worst garbage, like probably some crappy progressive house out of tune kicks or whatever, and he was like, yeah, keep going, man, no, yeah, you know, whatever. And rightly so, he didn't hit me back too much, and then I finally got better at my craft, and then so like all this to say, he's now basically gone back and started, you know, this awesome Haitian music like festival, and they did like MSG, or they did something insane in New York, and it was just really cool that like that style of music more recently, which is why I loved Afrobeat. And like one of the records I worked on Diplo with Major League DJs, they're South Africa, and Major Lazer did a record, and I worked on that, and that was like you know, Davido and just all these different like kind of Afro beats, and then, you know, just certain genres within that it always reminded me of how I was like, man, it would be cool for Haitian music to like have its moment. And more recently, Mikael did that. So that's really the core of it. But cast all that away, really funny is that when I was in school there, they would play like electro house. Super random, right? So like this happens in every country, right? Where like they have a sound, and then because your parents listen to it, you're like, I don't want to listen to that. So like, yeah, you kind of know it, but then you listen to something rebellious. So it was just very random that because it's very French and you know, kind of thing. There was this like, it was called like Tectonic, and they would do these like stupid, like, not, I don't want to say stupid because I would try and learn them, and it was like kind of like just this like corny electro dancing, and that got me into like basically house music, and then I love metal and stuff. So it basically led into the Dead Mouse.
So your whole introduction to dance music came from
it really
Haiti.
was in Haiti, and then I was like big into SoundCloud because our internet was so bad that I had to like, even before SoundCloud, like LimeWire, I'd sit there for like 3 hours to download like a Slipknot song, a Dead Mouse song, and like a Childish Gambino, just the most random.
4 of those were viruses.
Yeah, exactly. One of them was a virus,
and one of them was Bill Clinton saying, "I did not have." I don't know if you guys remember that one.
So that's probably a lot where your versatility comes from too, as well, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely like the white kid that's like able to mix, I'd say, with like just any type of music, just because like I grew up around like a whole different culture that I had to like learn to fit in enough with the music and not just be the corny white kid. So
yeah,
you know, I liked metal and rock, and that really is my passion, but I was like, I had to find the love and then of course now like understanding how house music has its roots, and like especially with like you said, like the San Pacho record, like for both of us, we love that style because
I love it.
Again, like all those types of drums are very Caribbean and Latin stuff.
I don't know what it is about Latin vocals over like really clean tech house.
Hits, man.
It just sounds so fucking good.
I don't know what they're saying, and I love it.
Text me, bro. I'll be like, oh, don't play that.
I love this.
Did you hear any music? Because DR and Haiti are basically in the same island. Did you ever like hear any sounds from the DR and stuff like that?
So DR was like the nice like vacation spot for Haiti because Haiti is just so messed up. So you would go there, but like I didn't really pick up much. To be completely honest, my fiance is full Dominican.
Wow.
And we both are like,
he didn't go
worst.
far.
Yeah,
he didn't go far. That's so crazy.
Yeah, it is kind of random, but like we're both not the best with like, she's not even a great. Sorry, baby, but she's not the best at Spanish. But her family.
Sapase though. Sapase?
Well, Sapase is Creole. Yeah, that's Creole.
Yeah.
But Spanish, nah, I don't have much. And like the music I do because of her family, they're lovely, and they have, you know, Dominican parties. But like
the dembo,
I still don't know what it's saying, but I can make the beats. I can definitely make dembo. I can make Bad Bunny stuff. You know, the Pitbull record. I can make the beats. That's it.
Do you guys try to make as much time like outside of Sidepiece to do your own personal projects? Like, is there
much, but
is there like a schedule, or there's no? It's very chaotic on how you guys.
It's pretty chaotic because I mean we have like randomly we'll be like, oh, this week, you know, Ricky's got to go to this session, and I've got to, you know, do whatever. We you know, got to try to have a life, you know, got to do whatever. So I think we're both also, you know, when you tour a lot, we're very fortunate, but we also enjoy being able to have like a little bit of a like real life, you know, at home whenever we can. So usually when we're home, we're kind of almost like part ways, but not in a bad way. It's more just like, yo, you know,
so you look back.
Out. I did go over his house for a smash burger on 4th, or when was that? That was a couple weeks ago. That was delicious.
Yeah.
We still hang every now and then, but yeah.
I was going to ask you.
We just turn off each other's phones, block each other, you know.
I was going to ask you guys, how much do you guys rehearse any of your sets, if any? Is there any practice time?
I don't know if we've ever technically, I mean, we try and go over set stuff and prepare a little bit, but we're not like
a general playlist.
Yeah, playlist stuff. But
I mean,
that's
what are the rules to a DJ duo dynamic? Like, is it song for song? Is it two songs? Like, how do you guys?
I think any duo can make their own rules. Yeah, but we do song
for song.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, as much as we, you know, like we said, I'm not up there scratching, and we're not up there, you know. So it's like for us, if he's mixing 4 records and I'm just standing around like an idiot, or vice versa, you know, we both want to be engaged, and I think it helps us because, like, you know, we can be engaged, we can be doing effects, we can do different things, but we're also, you know, enjoying the show as well. So it's like gives you that kind of like you're working, but then you're also enjoying.
Y'all never get those moments where you like play one song, you're like, oh, can I play one more?
Oh no, we
definitely do that. Yeah.
We have audibles for sure. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh shit. Well, like you guys.
Yeah, I'll be like, oh no, I got to come to this. And I go, oh, okay. Oh wait. You know.
You're on bathroom break.
Yeah.
So you guys are doing Live tonight.
Yes, sir.
And then like, yo, when you're in Vegas, and you're like, obviously you're in like New York, you're in Miami, you're in everywhere, Orlando, everywhere. Like, how do you approach Vegas? Because I've heard a lot of like EDM DJs, a lot of house DJs say they get frustrated with the crowd in Vegas because it's it's so kind of like in the middle and commercial and pop.
I think what a lot of people don't realize about, and I'm only jumping in here because I've had a residency here for a while, is that a lot of people don't realize that it's so transient, right? So when we go, like last night, we were in Orlando and we sold 1,900 tickets. We sold it out. And I'm not saying that to brag. I mean, that was our fans paying tickets to see us.
That's like core Sidepiece.
Yes,
fans.
I mean, that is the best possible thing I wish we could have that every single day, every single night. But in Vegas, there literally could be people here from the fucking cardboard convention or something. I don't know, whatever, you know.
The concrete convention.
Big cardboard, you know. It's crazy out there. But like, so when we go, we know that, you know, hey, we're going to, for the most part, I still say like 75% of our set or maybe more is still like how we play Sidepiece sets. And I think that's what's cool about what we do is it kind of reaches across the aisle.
Right.
But I think that we always try to be like, okay, well, obviously a lot more vocals, a lot more stuff that maybe is more commercial leaning. But I think we always still try to put our spin on it. We definitely aren't like selling out where we're like playing dumb whack edits and all this stuff like that. But I think people just don't realize that you're not necessarily playing just for your crowd. You're playing for people who have maybe never heard you before. You're playing for people that are 50 years old. You're playing for 21-year-old. You're playing for, you know, grandparents sometimes. I don't know. And also just different walks of life. So it's like, you have to just be kind of like go with the flow. You can watch and see and be able to adapt, I guess, as best as possible.
Yeah.
I think honestly too, this year especially, like we really because you've been playing here for years, but as Sidepiece, we really like I think found a sweet spot where we're really like true to our set, but we found this cool way to like put in certain edits. And again, this is where like all the rap edits, where like now we have a lot of fun because like he said, we don't really play too many other people's edits. We're so ahead of like, we have enough original music. We have time now to make our own. So there might be a really, you know, poppy song, but we make it a Sidepiece version. That's kind of, again, where Cash Out and Milli and, you know, this Cry For You record we have comes out of those because we're actually like making genuine Sidepiece versions. And then, maybe it helps for Vegas, but low key that turns into the rest of our set. So it feels very natural and like true to ourselves because it's not just like, you know, nothing against DJ City or any of those things. I love all those guys, but like, most DJs that just go grab from that versus an artist, it's a little more true to yourself if you as an artist are, you know, putting your spin on that. And again, there's nothing, if you're an open format DJ,
we play those too sometimes.
And they're always in there, but it's just like, there is that extra spin when you're like, oh, this feels like Sidepiece, even though somebody else has 5 different edits of it, you know, this is ours. And I think that's helped us a lot.
It's funny you say that because I was wondering, what do you do with this like huge surplus of like bootlegs that you guys have and edits that like never go to the public? Nothing.
You know what's funny? But our editor, Alex, he's like, hey, ask him about Cry For Me because I really want that remix. They have not dropped it.
So that one's, I don't even know if we can officially announce it, but that one's coming out.
Oh,
it's actually coming out as an original record.
Yeah, there you go, Alex.
There you go, Alex. Shout out, Alex. Broke the news.
I mean, you guys,
but ours are kind of, we've been calling them kind of treats, like our own version of remixes, and it kind of was something for fun for us to do. But I think that like part of me is like weird. It's like sometimes he and I will kind of like differ on this, but I love like back in the day when I would go see or try to go to a show, and I would go see, you know, and at the time when I was coming up, Avalon Hollywood was like, that was the spot where like the big dance DJs came from. It wasn't big like it is now. Like it was like you had to love dance music. You went there. But what was cool about it is you went there and you would hear DJs play and they would play a remix or they'd play a bootleg or an edit or whatever. And you would never hear it again unless it was like a rip. And I think that to me, the early DJ culture was always about that. It was about playing these B-sides. It's about playing these like dub tapes. It's about, you know, dub plates, excuse me. And like, something about I always like something for me too, as like I always want you to be able to come to a Sidepiece show and be like, what the hell is that? How do I get this? Oh shit, I can't get this. I got to go back to a Sidepiece show. Maybe I'll hear it, you know? But it's like something about that. It's kind of like gatekeeping in a way, but I love the idea that we do have so much music that we're able to kind of constantly challenge and keep you know, because you come to our set, it's always going to feel a little different. You might hear some of the same songs, some of the same remixes, right? Like, but I feel like, you know, we have 2 new songs to play tonight on top of probably quite a few more, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, it's the first time you're going to hear them.
It keeps like that live show element there, right?
Yeah.
Where it's just like anything can happen and we could drop anything. And you can, and like, this is only for the live shows.
Yeah.
That's great.
I think the easy way, like I was just thinking of a kind of clever way to put it really short, where it's like, when you're inspired, you're gonna create music. And when you're uninspired, you're gonna create excuses. That literally is just, that's it to me. And you're the person that's like, I'm gonna create my way out of this rut versus complain my way into a deeper rut. And that's basically what I've been trying to say this whole time. We're like, it's nothing against people, you can get in those ruts, but I think that's why I love what we do in Sidepiece together, is that we are constantly pulling each other out with another inspired idea or remix, or, you know, again, it's basically how we get to the cash outs and the other songs where we're like, hey, let's not get stuck in it. Let's actually like just make stuff because we enjoy it.
Yeah.
Well, Ricky doesn't have time for anybody's shit today.
No, I love it.
No. This is tough love.
I was trying to put it nicer.
And I hope anybody.
And it's not really directed at you. I'm honestly just, I feel like I always try and talk to younger me's on
Whoever's
podcasts
watching
and
us,
stuff, to be honest. It's not really, you guys are seasoned veterans at this. So I'm more just like, if I was going to hear myself speak to, you know, younger me, I would be like, hey, don't worry about like complaining your way through the industry. Cause it's like, it gets easier once you just.
I think there's like, you know, the way social media is right now with like de-influencing, I think it's become a trend for people to like complain and get views and get likes and get attention. So everyone's like kind of complaining and critiquing everything. Like, I went to see so-and-so and they sucked, or like, you know, this is not how you run an event, or like Coachella is like, you know, it's really ghetto.
Everybody's an expert.
Everyone's an expert.
Everybody's an expert now.
So I just think it's like trending right now, and just everyone's just following this
negativity
trend.
always gets more interaction.
Right.
So
I really appreciate you guys.
Like, we probably get the most likes ever if we were like, yo, Ricky and I hate each other, we're breaking up.
Just breaking up rumors here. I was going to tell you guys.
You guys cut that interview, and that's it. That's the end.
I was going to tell you guys, that's pretty dope that you guys do remixes and just keep them, because then a real music enthusiast just like Alex is chasing for that damn remix somehow, looking for it high and low, and it's pretty dope that you guys still
Dylan's. You just made his day.
No. But honestly,
amazing.
I do love releasing them as well. But I think it's also kind of like,
there's a fun for the
it's
hunt.
special. No, it makes it art. Like his point to me, honestly, it resonates. Even though I'm more like, let's put it out. Like I'm always like a little more.
I liken it to like when you go see a concert, right? And you go see a live band and whoever, classic, whatever, and there's there and they do their cool instrument solos. Maybe someone's ripping on the guitar for a while, and they do some crazy thing where then all of a sudden they start jamming out to this, and they start bringing in some old cool lyric or vocal or whatever. Like you're never gonna hear that again.
Yes,
that was a one-time moment, and I feel like that's why people go to concerts. That's why you go to shows, is to experience this thing that you know. Anybody can turn on Spotify and listen to Cash Out or whatever, right? But it's like, you want to come to our show and hopefully experience something you're not gonna. So I think that's what that to me is like. It's our version of the Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah, I love it because I feel like DJs, producers, I feel like they share too much. I feel like
exactly.
Yes, I feel like they give way too much,
Yep.
and I feel like they see other people doing things, and they feel compelled to post or like share. Or like,
also, people used to not get music that often. Like, I mean, it's always been. I mean, with the advent of the internet, dance music has exploded because there's the ability to get these records, the dance music blogs. That's how you got out there. But there's also a time where it was like no one was expecting to get these records right this second, now, like they are now. Everyone's like, oh well, why don't I have this? Why don't I have this? Why don't I have this? And it's like, chill.
I think the last thing too, like a way to like say it is that I don't want to say this like, it's not like training your fans in like a negative way, but it's like, it's just setting an example that what we actually enjoy and like and how we want to interact with them, I feel like we're trying to do it in a more mature way where it's like, we want to just show you things that we like on our page and the music we like, and not just this negative onslaught and let's complain about Southwest. Like, you'll never see us like, maybe it's a joke, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I think there's a difference where it's like, there are people that genuinely create their fan bases to be like that.
Yes.
No judgment. I just feel like for us, like, that's why we have these strong opinions, because we're like, you know what? We've just vibed between me and him and our teams by kind of just going off of like, that's why the treats are so important and things like that. It's because it's just all about the music. And like, if you're constantly like caring and loving the music, it just, everything else just kind of falls off. You're like, I don't care if they think this is too much or that or trans, whatever. Now we're just back to like, we do this every day, the same thing. We make music and we enjoy it. So
no, I love that, man. The rarity, it's just like chasing a Pokemon card or chasing a pair of sneakers that you don't get really. And it's like, these guys have it. Let's try to hack their fucking hard drive and get that remix. 'Cause that's the only way you can get it.
Then we need Matumbo over here.
It's great you're bringing like value and quality back, into the scene, which is good, which is amazing.
You're saying that we're the house music saviors? No,
Yes.
no, not at all. Not at all. No.
On the record, no.
Back on the record.
Off the record, make sure to tell Chris to go fuck himself.
Yeah.
when you interview him. Yeah.
Wait, who?
Chris Lake.
Chris Lake? Oh, okay.
He's my friend. He's my friend. No.
I'm gonna get that snippet ready.
Tell him that Dylan says go fuck yourself.
I'm gonna get that snippet ready for them.
Yeah.
Just like, hi.
Are you guys pretty like you were saying that the temperament between all the DJs now is super cool now. It's like everyone's just super chill, right? It's like
I'd say for us in house music, at least, I can't speak for every genre because we're not really that involved. But like in house music, I mean, anybody you can think of when we have said hi or DM'd, for the most part, I feel like I haven't really had any bad interactions in a minute. Like it's been a while.
I mean, you guys
I'm
are
almost
pretty
like
charming,
bored.
though.
Like somebody be an asshole. Come on.
You guys are pretty nice.
We just don't start enough beef.
What's
We're too
wrong
busy
with us?
shaking ass,
I see where this is going a little bit, but no.
let's go.
I see where this is going. No.
Set us up. Yeah, who we got?
You need those clicks for the podcast.
Is there anything we need to you want to talk about or plug or anything?
Promote.
What's next? What's Mike? What's
Well, if you didn't hear enough, we have a song out called Cash Out.
Nice.
Yes, and with Mr. Shmurda himself.
Oh, Bobby.
Yes, Bobby
Well,
Shmurda.
actually, you know what? I do have one question though, and we kind of we kind of moved past it, but I was talking about how Cash Out seemed like it moved really fast. And, and then you guys did a couple shows, and you were in EDC with him. How was it linking up with Bobby Shmurda? How was it,
bro?
I don't even know how to put it into words.
The guy is like
I like how you did this, like it's like something saying
like you have to think about like the energy in the ball. Like if you ever see how he posts or his videos, he is that human being. Like he exists only as that. It's crazy. It wasn't like a turn on, turn off. It was like this dude was the engine the whole time. It was like impressive. I was like,
he's a honey badger in human form.
Honey badger. Yo, Bobby Shmurda is a honey badger.
Unlimited energy, bro.
We literally were like, yo, we're athletic dudes. We're playing all the time. We're performing, whatever. We spent 2 hours with him, and we're like, yo, I don't know how he does it.
Yeah.
Did he clear that shit? Did he clear it himself?
He re-recorded it.
Dude,
I was gonna say that. I was gonna ask you that.
He
re-recorded
so cool
it. And we didn't even say anything. And it's funny because if you hear in the lyrics, he changed the lyrics. He said Sidepiece. He says our name in it, but we didn't ask him to do that.
I thought it was AI, maybe.
No. He did that without us asking, and he's been so supportive through it and really cool, and
So you
can't
guys
say
were
good enough things about him.
So you guys were shocked when you heard that like this was gonna come out?
Yeah, they like basically re-recorded and sent us, and we're like, oh my god, we actually got it. And then like you said, he even dropped our name on it, and we were just like, yo, this.
And then but trying to clear it and all that, the legal side has always been it's an undertaking, but him and his process was easy and awesome, and like him coming out of EDC and his, it's like I always funny because we were like joking. We're like, yeah, we're good on stage, but like when he came on stage,
yes,
it's
insane.
Like it's like you had that charisma, that magnetism. He did the arm thing and stuff, and it was like I was just like, I've been doing this for a long time, and I was like, I don't know if I'll ever have a moment like that. Like it was just
fire almost watching, like
the fire, like we're both just like. Yeah. Like I think my brain short circuited for a second.
Even the pyro guy went a little harder.
No, he just comes up and he starts screaming as he's running up. I mean, it couldn't have been more. I'm like, yo, this guy. There's a reason why he gets it. He understood the assignment.
Yeah, he is a performer. Man. That dude. Like sometimes you hear rappers on mic singing their songs and it sounds like ass, and that was like genuinely impressed. Like we were both like, holy shit, he did it.
He sounds exactly
like he did it.
Like he would have like come in from a helicopter if he could have, or something, or flown in, Yeah.
Oh man. Well, Sidepiece, Dylan, Ricky, thanks so much for coming through and
Thank you.
Man. It's really an honor, and good luck and best of luck on the tour, man.
Thank you.
It up. Yeah.
You guys did a great job. Thank you. This is amazing.
Thank you guys.
If you want to watch more episodes from R.O.A.D Podcast, click either links on the left or the right. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page and get updated on new uploads throughout the week. Peace.